There's a reason the average car in Japan crosses well past 250,000 miles, while the average car here gets crushed for scrap at half that, and it has almost nothing to do with how the cars are built. I've spent over 20 years under the hoods of Toyotas, Hondas, and Mazdas, and I can tell you the engine coming off the line in Osaka is the same engine they put in the one sitting in your driveway. What's different is what the owner does in the first 5 minutes of every drive, and a handful of quiet habits the dealership is praying you never learn. Stay with me to the end, because the number one habit on this list is the one every service writer in the country will look you in the eye and tell you never to do. It costs almost nothing. It takes a single afternoon. And it is the biggest difference between a car that dies at 200,000 miles and one that rolls past 500,000 without a single major repair. Do these 12 things, and that odometer stops being something you're afraid of. Number 12. The monthly walk around. The most powerful longevity habit on this list is also the one nobody charges for, which is exactly why nobody recommends it. Once a month, you lift the hood, you pull the dipstick, and you look underneath the car for anything wet. That's it. Here's what they don't tell you at the counter. Almost every catastrophic engine failure I've ever seen started as something small and visible that the owner simply never looked at. A slow oil leak, a weep at a gasket, a level dropping a quarter quart a week. In over 20 years, I have watched more seized engines roll in on a flatbed than I can count. And the brutal part is that nearly all of them would have been a 5-minute top-off if the owner had opened the hood 3 months earlier. A seized engine in a Corolla is a $4,180 conversation. A dipstick is free. The Japanese owner treats his car like it's telling him something every single day, and he's the kind of man who actually listens. Number 11. Be gentle for the first 5 minutes. When you start a cold engine, the oil is sitting in the pan at the bottom. For the first several seconds, the top end of that engine, the camshafts, the valve train, the parts spinning thousands of times a minute, is running close to dry. Now here's the myth I need to kill. You do not fix this by letting the car idle in the driveway for 10 minutes. That's the old advice, and it's wrong. You fix it by driving gently. Keep it under 2,500 revolutions per minute and stay off the throttle for the first few miles until the temperature needle lifts off cold. A retired school teacher from Tucson brought me her 2014 Camry convinced she had a lemon, top-end noise, premature wear, the works. She'd been backing out and flooring it down the on-ramp every single morning for years. The damage cost her $1,340 to chase down. The fix that would have prevented it costs nothing and adds about 90 seconds to your commute. Number 10. Set your pressure from the door, not the tire. Underinflated tires don't just wear out faster, they drag your fuel economy down, they run hot, and on a highway in July, they're the reason a sidewall lets go at 70. Here's the part most drivers get backwards. The big number molded into the side of your tire is the maximum pressure, not the recommended one. The number you actually want is printed on a sticker inside the driver's door jamb. So let me ask you something directly. When was the last time you put a real gauge on all 4 tires instead of just glancing at them in the parking lot? If you genuinely can't remember, I'll tell you right now that at least one of them is low as you watch this. Check them cold, once a month, set them to the door jamb number, and rotate every 5,000 to 6,000 miles. Skip it and you're buying a fresh set at $612 before you should have to. Number 9. Let the engine breathe. Your engine is an air pump. It needs a specific amount of clean air for every drop of fuel it burns, and that air comes through a paper filter that slowly fills with dirt, bugs, and road grime. When that filter clogs, the engine has to fight for every breath, and it starts running richer than it should. The Department of Energy's own testing found that a badly clogged air filter measurably hurts a vehicle's acceleration and throttle response, even on modern fuel-injected engines. Now, your dealer will happily charge you $76 to change it during a multi-point inspection. The filter itself costs about $23, and on most of these Japanese engines, you can swap it yourself in under 2 minutes with no tools. Just pop the airbox clips, drop the new one in, done. Check it every oil change, replace it about every 15,000 miles, sooner if you drive dirt roads. Tires keep you safe on the outside. The next 2 habits protect everything underneath, where you can't see it. Number 8. Wash underneath the car. You can keep a perfect engine and still lose the car. I've seen it more times than I'd like. The engine runs like new at 190,000 miles, but the frame, the brake lines, and the fuel lines have quietly rotted out from underneath because of road salt and trapped moisture. Here's what nobody at the dealership will ever bring up. Rust doesn't care how well you maintain the parts you can see. A mail carrier from outside Buffalo brought me his Honda CR-V running beautifully. and I had to tell him the brake lines were so corroded they were one hard stop from failing, with frame damage behind it. That bill came to $3,720, and the engine never had a problem in its life. In the winter, run your car through a wash with an underbody rinse every couple of weeks. In a salt state, make it a religion. Number 7. Refuel at a quarter tank. Most people think the only cost of running the tank to empty is the walk to the gas station. It isn't. Your fuel pump lives inside the tank, and it's cooled and lubricated by the fuel surrounding it. Run that tank chronically low, and you leave the pump exposed, running hot, sipping from the sediment that settles at the bottom. 2 Accords come into my bay the same month, both right around 140,000 miles. One belongs to a guy who fills up the second the light's about to come on. The other belongs to a guy who treats a quarter tank as time to stop. The first one is in for an $894 fuel pump replacement. The second one has never touched his. Same car, same miles. One habit's worth of difference. Keep the needle above a quarter, and you may never replace a pump in the life of the car. Number 6. Flush the brake fluid every 2 to 3 years. Brake fluid is the one fluid in your car that's designed to fail, and almost nobody knows it. It's hygroscopic, which is a fancy way of saying it pulls moisture straight out of the air over time. That water sinks into the lines, and the moment you ride your brakes down a long grade and that fluid gets hot, the water flashes to vapor and your pedal goes soft. Here's what your maintenance schedule conveniently leaves out. This is happening to every car, slowly, with no warning light. So let me put it back on you. When was the last time anyone tested or replaced your brake fluid? If the answer is never, it's already compromised. Drop a comment below and tell me honestly the last time anyone touched it. A flush runs about $118 and takes an hour. Skip it long enough and the moisture corrodes your calipers and ABS unit from the inside, and that's a $1,470 repair that started as a coffee cup of water. Number 5. Replace spark plugs before they fail. Spark plugs are cheap, they're hidden, and they're one of the most expensive things you can ignore. When a plug wears out, the engine starts misfiring. You'll feel it as a rough idle or a little stumble under acceleration. Here's the part that costs people real money. A misfiring cylinder dumps unburned fuel straight into your catalytic converter, and that converter can't take that heat for long before it melts down inside. A delivery driver from outside Phoenix kept driving his Mazda 3 through a rough idle for 2 months because the car still ran. By the time he came in, the misfire had cooked his catalytic converter, and that repair came to $1,890. A fresh set of Iridium plugs installed would have been $214. Don't trust vague, lifetime claims. Follow the interval in your owner's manual, usually somewhere between 60,000 and 100,000 miles depending on the plug, and use the factory spec part. Before I give you the next one, quick reminder. If this is already saving you money, take 1 second and hit that subscribe button. It's the only thing that keeps these videos coming. Now this next habit is the one that separates the people who hit 500,000 from everyone else, and it costs nothing at all. Number 4, never ignore a new noise. This is the habit that the Japanese build their entire reputation on, and it has a name, Kaizen, the discipline of fixing the small thing now so it never becomes the big thing later. Your car talks to you. A new tick, a faint whine, a squeal that wasn't there last week. That is the cheapest warning you will ever get, and most drivers turn up the radio and tunnel right past it. Here's what 20 years has taught me. I've never once had a $2,630 repair roll into my bay that didn't start as a $47 noise the owner drove on for 2 months. The failure was always announced. The owner just didn't answer. When a new sound shows up and stays, get it looked at within the week, while it's still a belt or a bearing and not a tow truck. The man whose car lives forever isn't a better mechanic than you. He just never lets a small sound become a habit. Number 3. Service the coolant on schedule. Coolant doesn't last forever, no matter what the bottle or the dealer tells you. Over time, it goes acidic and loses the additives that keep it from eating your engine. And once that happens, it quietly corrodes the water pump, the radiator, and the heater core from the inside out. When the cooling system finally gives up, the engine overheats, and an overheated engine warps heads and blows head gaskets, the kind of damage that ends cars. According to the American Automobile Association, cooling system failures are among the leading causes of roadside breakdowns in the country, and the majority of them trace back to fluid that was never replaced on schedule. A coolant flush costs around $147 and protects every metal part the fluid touches. Ignore it, and you're looking at a $3,150 head gasket job on an engine that was otherwise perfectly healthy. Get this one right, and you've protected almost everything under the hood. Everything except the single system that decides whether your car dies at 200,000 or sails past 500,000. And that's the one waiting for you at number 1, the thing every dealer swears you should never touch. Number 2. Use the exact oil your engine was built for. These Japanese engines are machined to tolerances tighter than anything coming out of Detroit in their era, and that precision is exactly why the oil matters so much. They were designed around a specific thin synthetic, a 0W20 or whatever your cap actually says, that can flow instantly into passages narrower than a strand of spaghetti. Here's what the Quick Lube shop will never explain while they're pouring bulk oil into your engine. Thicker is not safer. Heavier oil can't reach those tight bearings fast enough on a cold start, and stretching your changes to chase that 10,000-mile number lets the oil break down into sludge that plugs everything up. 2 Corollas, both right at 150,000 miles. The first one got the correct grade, changed every 5,000 miles like clockwork. It's clean inside, quiet, compression strong as new. The second one got whatever was cheapest, stretched to 10,000 miles a run, and the inside of that valve cover looks like burnt syrup. That owner is staring at $5,260 in internal engine wear. A proper oil change is $68. Open your cap, read the grade, use exactly that, and change it on time. But understand this, even flawless oil only protects the engine itself, and the one system most likely to end your car is the one almost nobody ever services. That's number 1, and it's the thing every dealer in the country will swear you should never touch. Number 1. Service the transmission fluid. They swear is lifetime. Here it is, the single biggest difference between a car that dies at 200,000 miles and one that crosses 500,000, and it's the one your dealer will fight you on. Your automatic transmission is full of fluid that does everything. It lubricates, it cools, and it carries the hydraulic pressure that makes the whole thing shift. That fluid wears out, it breaks down, it burns, and once it does, the clutch packs inside start cooking themselves every time you change gears. Now here is the lie that has killed more transmissions than any other, and I want you to really hear it. When the manufacturer stamps lifetime fluid, or sealed for life, on that transmission, the life they're talking about is the life of the warranty, not the life of your car. They are counting on that transmission dying a few years after the warranty runs out, because a dead transmission on a paid-off car is how they sell you the next one. A school bus driver from outside Kansas City believed that line on his Toyota RAV4 and never touched the fluid. At 160,000 miles, it started slipping on the upshift, then slamming, and the rebuild ran him $4,420. The fluid service that would have prevented every bit of it cost $189. So do this. Every 30,000 to 40,000 miles, have a simple drain and fill done with the factory spec fluid, no matter what the manual calls it. One word of caution. If your fluid has never been changed and you're already past 100,000 miles, ask for a gentle drain and fill, not a high-pressure flush, because blasting a neglected transmission can do more harm than good. Do this one thing the dealer told you never to do, and you protect the most expensive component on the car for the price of a tank of gas. That's the list. 12 habits, almost none of them costing more than pocket change, and every one of them quietly handed back to the people who knew about them all along. The man whose Toyota crosses 500,000 miles isn't lucky, and he isn't a mechanic. He just stopped trusting the people who profit when his car dies young. If you want to catch a failing transmission before it ever costs you a dime, I put together a full breakdown of the 5 warning signs it gives you first. It's the video playing right now on the left. Go watch it before your next drive. I'll see you there.